happy Thursday. Once again, Danny Dower with the Kais Company and my very good friend James Matarazzo with great information that we want to share with you today. So James, we wanted to talk about this because we wanted to tell people like a list or advices of what not to do before you close on the property. When you're approaching the closing day, you're excited because you're going to get your new house, but there are things that you don't want to do in order not to risk the loan. So without any further ado, James.
Yeah, that's a great question, Danny. Thank you for having me again. Hi, everybody. These are true life situations, and what I try to do in the very beginning of the transaction, when I'm talking to buyers, whether they're buying their first home or they've bought homes in the past, is don't change anything. I have people that if they're married, I say, don't get divorced before you close. If they're working and we're looking at their employment, I say, don't change jobs in the middle of this transaction. Once you enter into a contract, keep your job, don't quit your job. If you go on workman's compensation, you have to tell me, try to delay it until after you close.
Correct.
Because that affects the income. I've had people that change jobs in the middle of the transaction, really a week before that they closed. Now, we as lenders have to do a verbal verification of employment. When we're at the end of the transaction, we have to make sure that people are still working where
Correct.
They said they worked. Even though we got the verification of employment earlier in the transaction, we do a verbal verification 3 days before. So what I tell people in the beginning of the transaction is, don't get married, don't get divorced, don't quit your job, don't buy a new car before you close, don't buy a helicopter. And I always tell them a helicopter and they laugh. And I say, remember, I'm telling you this because it's happened. The other thing I tell them is, don't go out and go to a furniture store
Correct.
and start buying furniture on a brand new credit card because they're giving you 0% interest.
Correct.
That inquiry is going to show up. It's not going to affect your score, but if you've gotten $8,000 worth of credit, now all of a sudden I have to count that payment in the debt-to-income ratios.
Correct.
So wait till the day you close. As soon as you close and we fund, then I don't care if you get divorced, you get married, you change jobs, and you go finance the furniture.
Right. And actually, you read my mind about the furniture, but that was, my next question. Also, obviously, do not open new credit cards. That goes without saying.
Right. Don't open new credit cards. Really don't do anything with your credit. Once I pull your credit report, I only have to pull the credit report one time, and it's good for 4 months. So once we're in that transaction, I've had people that just recently have tried to repair their credit to boost their score. And I tell them, don't do that. Don't remove anything.
Right.
Don't add anything. Don't open new credit cards, like you said. Don't get a car. All of those things could potentially hurt their credit. And we're not pulling another credit report, but there's inquiries that may pop up right at the end. And now we have some explaining to do. So to keep it a smooth transaction, leave your credit alone.
Right.
Once I pull it, unless I tell you, listen, we have to increase your scores, and this is what you have to do to increase
Correct.
the scores, which is very good. It's a good module that I have on my credit reports that runs a simulator that will tell the buyer and the borrower what to pay off or pay down
Correct.
in order to improve their score. And then once they do that, we run a rapid rescore with the new balance of the debt that they just paid off or paid down, and that could potentially
Correct.
boost their credit scores up.
One question that I have for you that I heard, and I just want to corroborate if it's true or not, the underwriter has the chance, even to the day of the closing, to double check everything to see that nothing new has happened or something like that. Is that correct or is that accurate?
We usually do that 3 days
3 days before.
3 days before. When the initial closing disclosure goes out 3 days before closing,
Right.
that's when we do our final checks and balances, just to make sure that they're still working where they said that they're working. We
Right.
run another report, it was just an inquiry report. And then if something pops up on that inquiry report that wasn't there on the original credit report, that's when we're going to ask the question, did you get new credit because we see this inquiry for El Dorado Furniture or whatever furniture store there is.
Right. Now, the $1 million question, James, with your experience, I'm sure it's happened. But you still have been able to close the deal. It may have taken a little bit more work, but knowing you that you're a solution finder, you got the job done.
Yes.
Is that an accurate statement?
Absolutely. So I've had a situation where 5 days before closing, I told the borrower, we're going to do a verbal verification of employment. She said, I just got laid off. And she's in the contract, and she's passed a financing contingency
Right.
date. So I said, how quickly can you get another job? And she said, James, in my industry, I can get another job like that. I said, go get another job right now. I told the realtor, I asked the realtor, find out from the seller how long they can extend the contract, because we have a situation here.
Right.
It was outside of the buyer's
Correct.
control, and things happen sometimes.
Right.
So luckily they said, well, we don't have to move out for another 45 or 60 days. We'll extend the contract. We'll give her time
Okay.
to go ahead and get another job. She was able to get another job, and we closed the loan with just one pay stub from her new job.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So listen, you don't want to put yourself in that situation that you make your lender, start rushing and pulling rabbits out of the hat, to get the stuff done, But if it does happen, James is the guy for you, that he will still get you close. It's just gonna take a little bit more time and make whatever it is. So just follow these advices. Once again, very important. Just like 5 little bullet points, what not to do before closing.
Sure. Don't get married. Don't get divorced. Don't change your job. Don't leave your job. Don't open up any new credit. Don't go to a credit repair company in the middle of the transaction. Leave your credit situation alone. Save up as much money as you can for the closing costs. So don't go gambling the money away at the casino either, just to put more of a down payment. So hold everything tight.
And no high purchases before.
Right, no high purchases, exactly.
Before the closing, okay?
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys find this information very helpful. It's important. Remember, do not do any of these things, and that way you will guarantee yourself a smooth closing with your lender. Any questions, as always, 561-445-8675. And James?
954-648-7848.
Thank you very much, and until next time.
Thank you.